Factually inaccurate.
Morally correct. This is Babylon Bee Radio. Our top story. During a long-awaited and much-publicized visit to the U.S.-Mexico border, President Joe Biden sought to reassure the American people.
Listen, folks, there's nothing to worry about here at the southern border.
Biden said to the assembled press after touring a portion of the border that had been cleared of migrants prior to his arrival.
Everything happening down here at our border with Mexico is just as safe, secure, and rock solid as our election system. Butterscotch.
Critics had long complained about the Biden administration's lack of attention in securing the southern border, as hundreds of thousands of undocumented migrants have continued to flow into the country from Mexico. Cartel crime, human rights abuses, and ever-growing concerns about the drug trade throughout the region have run rampant, with seemingly few steps taken by the government to improve security.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
As quickly as he'd arrived, Biden departed the border and went back to Washington, D.C., where he'd been promised some veggie straws and fruit snacks before his afternoon nap. Fear gripped the city today as a maniacal villain once again put dozens of innocent citizens' lives at risk. The Joker, who is reportedly pregnant, and his gang of homicidal clowns held the First National Bank of Gotham City hostage until his unusual demands were met.
In this city, it's only a matter of time before some nutjob does something insane,
said Gotham City Police Commissioner James Gordon at a press briefing.
The Joker's always been unpredictable, but now that he's pregnant, who knows what type of carnage we should expect.
Rather than the usual ransom demands for money or to have the Batman publicly reveal his true identity, the Joker was reportedly requesting to have someone bring him pickles and ice cream to satisfy his pregnancy cravings.
Who cares about money when what I really want is something salty? But not too salty, with a little bit of sweetness. But I'm not really sure what.
The Clown Prince of Crime said in a video sent to the police.
I'm not really sure what I want. Maybe massage. I keep feeling nauseous, and my back and my feet are killing me.
As the standoff continues, rumors have spread that Commissioner Gordon had sent the Batman on an urgent mission to obtain a half-gallon of a very specific flavor of ice cream that was not available at most stores. Following the horrific accident that sidelined Hawkeye, the remaining Avengers have reportedly joined forces to strike back against the villainous snowplow. Captain America issued a brief statement to reporters as the team prepared to head up the mountain in search of their enemy.
An attack on one Avenger is an attack on all of us. Seeing Hawkeye in that ICU, having his hair shampooed in one of those hospital shower cap things was sobering for all of us.
Though the world was relieved to hear Hawkeye would survive the dastardly attack, some like superhero fan Travis Oakside were left wondering if the current Avengers lineup might share some of the blame.
I don't think this would have ever happened with the old team. Now with a roster that consists of Captain Marvel, Shang-Chi, and other replacement caliber heroes, bad guys think they can get away with anything.
At airtime, the Avengers were expecting to easily defeat Snowplow and get back to their headquarters, where they could discuss the wisdom of having a team member who has no actual superpowers and is just really good at archery. After a week of grueling votes for the Speaker of the House, 15 in total, Kevin McCarthy was finally handed the People's Gavel and took his rightful place as Speaker. He lifted it up to the raucous applause of both Democrats and Republicans, signaling that the week of congressional inactivity was over and the long national nightmare of taxing, spending, and corruption could finally begin.
Finally, we will get down to the people's business of stealing all their money for our pet projects, making backroom deals, and holding meaningless investigations where we yell and point angrily at people to get some sweet soundbites for our re-election,
said McCarthy to the assembled warmongers, rapists, and half-dead geriatrics in the room.
Our long congressional nightmare is over, and the long national nightmare is finally here. Huzzah!
Those in the crowd who were still sober enough to stand then stood and cheered. Experts predict that business as usual will resume immediately as politicians give portentous speeches to empty rooms, have important meetings with weapons manufacturers, and attend coke orgies. At airtime, Congress had already authorized another $100 billion to Ukraine.
$100 billion.
Marking an historic moment in our nation's history, brilliant lawmaker and shoelace combatant Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez boldly took to the floor with a biting question for her fellow representatives.
Why do we need a House Speaker if every one of us already has headphones?
Asked the esteemed representative from New York while holding her custom-engraved AirPods in the air. The room fell silent as lawmakers from both sides of the aisle turned to listen to Ocasio-Cortez's wisdomly soliloquy as she described how the whole world surely receives piles of nice headphones and little gift bags from well-dressed lobbyists, just like she does, begging the question, why speakers? After hearing the argument from Representative Ocasio-Cortez, Georgia Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene was seen staring at her own headphones, perplexed. AOC then died after being laughed at by Matt Gaetz. Local coal miner Don Billings has expressed deep sympathy for Congressman having to work such long hours lately.
Ooh, 4 days in a row, sitting there eating takeout? Boy, I am sorry to hear that.
News of Congress's brutal working conditions had reached Mr. Billings during a brief respite while a mine shaft was being repaired.
They came back to work in the evening after a 4-hour dinner? Yeah, that is some kind of commitment. I sure do hope they get a nice long weekend after all that sitting around drinking.
Across the nation, Congress saw an outpouring of support over the remarkable hours they were putting in.
4 straight days of actually being at the place they work. Sitting there, what heroes,
said telephone lineman Michael Gramps McGee.
I even heard they had trouble getting DoorDash to deliver. So if you had to send their aides to run across the street to pick up Chipotle, I really feel for them.
An exhausted local couple has entered their 15th round of voting, the results of which will determine where they go for dinner. Kevin Ryan has reportedly been vying for a meal at Galactic Fried Chicken, and his wife Nancy has voted for a different restaurant every round, as she is female and never knows what she wants. The couple's been unable to eat since Friday.
I think I'll have it clinched this time. I've offered her a spa basket, flowers, and even a role on the agriculture committee. It's a deal she can't refuse. I can't wait to go to Galactic Fried Chicken. It's out of this world.
According to sources, Nancy has admitted that she was, quote, up for anything, but adamantly refused Galactic Fried Chicken because one time she went there and the waitress looked at her weird and it was awkward. However, sources believe she may soon buckle under the pressure of starving to death. At airtime, Galactic Fried Chicken won enough votes for dinner, but is closed Mondays and Tuesdays. The couple was forced into a brief recess to deliberate before another round of voting would begin. Find more fake news you can trust at BabylonB.com. Babylon Bee Radio features officially curated content from the Babylon Bee, scripted, voiced, and produced by Austin Robertson. Additional voices in this episode from Bettina, Emma, and Travis. Don't miss an episode. Subscribe to Bee Radio on YouTube, Spotify, and at BabylonB.com/podcasts.